everybody, and welcome to episode 8 of Working From Home with Mike O'Brien. Today we are back on my lady friend's roof deck, Macy Mary Perkins roof deck, because it overlooks Charlestown, Massachusetts, which will be one of the subjects of today's episode. We talk about the Battle of Bunker Hill, which you can see the monument right here. There it is. Right there. Before we talk about the Battle of Bunker Hill, let's talk about today's sponsor, which is siblingconnections.org. Siblingconnections.org. My friend Nick Bouthelette, who is very helpful with that organization. He donates his time every summer. He works at Camp to Belong. This organization brings together brothers and sisters that were separated due to the foster system, brings them together every summer to Camp to Belong, brings them together. They usually don't get to see each other during the year. They spend a couple weeks at camp. They play games. I don't know if you can still play Red Rover, but that's what I played when I was a kid. It was a lot of fun. Maybe they make macaroni necklaces. Nick's one of the counselors. You can donate your time to being a counselor, or you can just donate money. So you want to go to siblingconnections.org, learn more about the organization, maybe donate some time, donate your money. It's a really great cause, and I highly suggest checking it out. As I said, today's episode is about the Battle of Bunker Hill. You will see the Bunker Hill Monument. Where's my finger? There it is right there. That is the Bunker Hill Monument. We'll talk about the actual monument itself later on the tour, but first let's talk about that battle. Occurred on June 17th, 1775, the early stages of the Revolutionary War. That battle did not occur on Bunker Hill. It actually occurred on Breed's Hill. Where that monument is that you see there, that is Breed's Hill. To the left here, you will see Bunker's Hill, that church steeple sticking up. Now, the day before the battle, on June 16th, the Patriots were stationed on Bunker's Hill. They moved over to Breed's Hill. It was a higher elevation. Thought it would be harder for the English to march up. It was also closest to Boston. They thought it was a better hill to station their army on for tactical purposes. So they did that, and they were correct with how high that hill was, because it was high. The English marched up 2 separate times, but on the third time, the Patriots ran out of ammunition. The English overtook the hill and overtook Charlestown. This was the famous battle where the phrase, "Don't fire till you see the whites of their eyes," was uttered. It was said because the Patriots didn't have a lot of ammunition and wanted to conserve their bullets. Obviously in Charlestown they are still dressed up as it's the 1700s. The Colonials were led by William Prescott, who you'll see a statue of him right in front of this beautiful monument. Here's a close-up view of it. The Patriots only suffered 400 to 500 casualties, while the British suffered 1,054 casualties, a lot of those being British officers, because the Patriots had a strategy which was shoot the best dressed, which meant shoot a British officer, because if you shot a British officer, 2 British troops had to take him off the battlefield, so you're taking 3 people out with 1 bullet. It was a way to take out as many troops as possible with as little ammunition as possible. I did not have a picture of a British officer, so I just chose a really good picture of myself. Dr. Joseph Warren was probably the most well-known person to lose their life at the Battle of Bunker Hill. Many people believe he might have been one of the first 3 presidents of the United States had he not died at the Battle of Bunker Hill. Paul Revere identified his body by using Warren's dentures. It was one of the first documented instances where someone identified a body due to their dental records. Now there is a very famous restaurant right at the bottom of the hill called Warren Tavern, named in honor of Dr. Joseph Warren. Started in 1780, one of the oldest restaurants in America. Many famous people, old people, have been at that restaurant. George Washington, Paul Revere, my dad, many, many old people. The Bunker Hill Monument began construction in 1825 and finally finished 18 years later in 1843. It took so long to build, not because it was difficult to build, but because they kept running out of funding. Finally, the women of Charlestown got together and ended up holding a bake sale, raising close to $30,000, which, if you ask me, those are expensive brownies. I don't know what was in those brownies back in the 1840s. It now stands 221 feet tall. It is half the size of the Washington Monument, but the Bunker Hill Monument was built first. You'll see a photo of my father sitting in front of that lovely Bunker Hill Monument and me climbing the 294 steps to the top. As you can see, it is very easy, and when you get to the top, not a lot of social distancing going on. thank you so much for watching episode 8 of Working From Home with Mike O'Brien. Had a great time with you talking about the Battle of Bunker Hill. Also want to thank our sponsor today, siblingconnections.org, a great organization and camp to belong where you can bring those kids to camp and let them have fun with their brothers and sisters. Nick Booth let bring it to our attention. Go to siblingconnections.org. Learn more about that organization. Donate your time and money to it. It's a great cause. Want to thank all of you for watching and liking and sharing and telling your friends, your family, your enemies. Folks, tell everyone about this. I want this to take off. I don't know how much longer I could be a tour guide, because who knows if there are tour guides, but I know one thing. I'm sure Hollywood Squares is going to make a comeback soon, and I want to be the host of that. So maybe if I get big, I could be the next host of Hollywood Squares. So like I said, thank you so much for watching. Continue watching. Watch past episodes. I love you all equally. Have a wonderful and glorious day, and ta-ta for now. Bye-bye.